Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you guys how I've been using my bullet journal for daily entries. Since I shared my plan with me for November, a lot of you guys were asking how I was doing my daily entries in my bullet journal. So for this video, first I'm going to do a quick flip through of my journal so you guys can see all of the different types of spreads that I've done, and then I'm going to create my own spread for today so you can see my exact process. So let's get into it. So this is the journal that I use. This is the Tsuki Pastel edition. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but this is by Notebook Therapy, and I decorated it with these beautiful element stickers by Plantful, which is my favorite sticker shop ever, by the way. I'll link it down below if you guys want to check it out. But the size of this journal is a little unique. It's 5.3 inches by 7.6 inches, so it's a little bit smaller than the average A5 size bullet journal. It just feels super portable and easy to carry around. I also love the fact that it's a soft cover notebook. It actually took me a long time to find a decent notebook that had a soft cover. I've never actually used a soft cover notebook before, so I really wanted to try one out, and it just makes journaling feel super casual and laid back, which was the vibe that I was going for with this daily journal. So the original plan I had for this journal was to use it as a creative writing journal. So I would follow a prompt every day and write a few paragraphs. But around the time that I got this journal, I stopped using my bullet journal because it just started to get very overwhelming and stressful. So I kind of morphed into using this as my replacement for bullet journaling. I started out by writing journal entries of things that have been on my mind, almost like a brain dump, if you will. Then I started adding lists and schedules and stuff, and I started writing what the weather was that day and my mood, so it kind of like just turned into my bullet journal. But I made sure to always have a journal entry for the day because that was sort of the whole reason why I chose to do this in the first place. So there's some days here and there where I didn't really have time to do it, so I skipped it, but I really try to make an effort to do that because it's really therapeutic for me to write down my thoughts since I am a textbook overthinker. As you can see, I don't stick to a set theme, and that has been really fun because I've been able to experiment with different themes and colors every single day instead of just doing the same thing over and over. I do have a few go-to themes and colors that I like to use, but I do try to branch out and try new things. So the first thing I do when I sit down to make my daily entry is I grab a Fineliner. Right now I'm really into thin lines, so I use this 0.25 millimeter size. Then I grab one or two colors to use in the spread. I don't ever use more than 2 colors because I don't want it to be too busy. I just got this new pink color, so I'm going to use that and a purple for this spread. Some things you can add into your daily spreads are schedules, to-do lists, meal plans, mood and energy stats, a daily journal entry, and anything else in your head that day that you just need to write down. I usually start with the header. I always write the month and the day, and then the day of the week. Then I write down the weather and my mood and energy for that day. I always do these things first just as like a check-in with myself. Then I will usually create a to-do list for the day. And I've been doing this type of to-do list for a few days now, and I think it's really helped me be more productive. So I categorize all of my tasks into these 3 sections: important, suggested, and free time. So I always do the important stuff first, and then I work my way down to the rest of the tasks in the suggested and then the free time tasks. But I usually never get to the tasks in that last box, so I just roll those over to the next day's tasks list. Oh my gosh, that's a tongue twister. If I need to. Now I'm doing a journal entry, and if I was going to add a schedule, this is probably where I would have put it, but I'm not going to do that today, so I thought this was a good spot for my entry. In my journal entries, I write about anything from personal issues that I'm having, thoughts that I just need to get out of my head, or dreams that I had the night before. Sometimes if I haven't made my spread until the middle of the day, which happens sometimes, I will write about what happened that morning. But if you can't think of anything to write, you can always look for prompts online, which is what I sometimes do. On this next page, I'm just going to write down a bunch of lists and some trackers. I have a lot of ideas that I need to get out before I forget them, so I'm making a Christmas list for presents that I want to get my family, and then my own little Christmas list if anyone asks me for present ideas. My Christmas list this year is really short, which it usually always is, but I've been really enjoying trying new recipes this year, especially soups, so one of the things on my list is a Dutch oven. Then up on the right corner, I wrote down some ideas for books that I want to write for Bear. If you watched my November plan with me, I talked a little bit about how I bought some blank books to write some original stories for Bear to give to him as one of his Christmas presents. And I have a lot of ideas, so I just wrote those down. Then I wrote a list of things I want to do for my Patreon. I post all my daily entries on there, so I'm going to take a picture of this and post that there. And then I also have a few other posts that I want to make and schedule. So I just wrote that down. Then down at the bottom, I made these 2 trackers for some bullet journals that I'm working on. This just helps me keep track of where I'm at in the journals and how much time I need to spend on them so I get them out in time. I love using these bullet journal progress trackers because they're so fun to fill out, and I know most of you aren't doing this type of thing, so you can totally personalize it and use it to track whatever projects you're currently working on. You can also add countdowns to your spreads, which would be fun. So now I'm going to decorate the page. I don't really stick to the theme for the month for my daily entries because I like to be able to experiment and switch it up every now and then. So even though my theme for November was winter squashes, I'm going to do a cute little magical crystals theme. I love doodling crystals. They're so easy to draw and you don't have to stick to a certain color because crystals come in pretty much every color. So this is one of my go-to themes for my daily spreads. I also love doing star themes and cloud themes in this journal, which you probably noticed from the flip through. So now I'm just going to color everything in. For the headers, I always color in the box at the top, and then for the subheaders, I color in the drop shadow. I just feel like that way it doesn't look too busy and it gives kind of a separation. Then for the doodles, I'm using a different technique here. So instead of just coloring everything in, I'm coloring in some of the crystals fully, and then others I'm just outlining them with color, and I feel like it makes the crystals look like they're shining, which I thought was really cool. After I color everything in, I highlight the important things in the spread with one of the colors. So the most important tasks in each task section I highlighted, then also some of the bullet points in the list on the other page. Sometimes I highlight keywords in my journal entry if the spread is looking a bit plain, but I thought it looked fine as is, so I just left it. I try to do an even amount of purple and pink throughout the spread, and then once I'm done highlighting everything, I just added a few color spots in the mix of dots and sparkles to make it a little bit more magical. P.S. I don't know if you guys listened to Ariana Grande, but her song Magic off of her new album is literally my favorite song ever. It's so good. I just love her so much. So that is how I set up my daily spreads each day. Sometimes I do a lot less and sometimes I do even more if I need to, and that's what I love about doing these. I feel a lot more free to use my journal the way I need to since I don't have to stick to a pre-made weekly spread. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you got something out of it. Don't forget to subscribe if you did enjoy it. But that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.